Yo, what up, people? Welcome back or welcome. I hope that this finds you when it needs to find you. I hope that you hear what you need to hear. And today specifically, I hope that you are connecting to your divine. I hope that you're well on your way to finding your source. It's a beautiful day out, and I think that that is perfectly articulating how beautiful the source is and how lovely it is to just take part in the present moment, which I feel is the source, you know? And I feel that we've been distant from it, which is today's topic, is the estrangement of divine love. I think that we've been distant from our divine, and that there's been a gap from God. I think that the truth is that we just truly don't and haven't ever truly known our Creator. And this may not apply to you because you don't buy in or subscribe to a almighty individual or all-seeing something or whatever it is. You may not believe in a creator, but to be quite honest, I think that that's a state of the times. I think our lack of knowledge and lack of understanding combined with modern day's depiction of power kind of leads us off of that beaten path, leads us off of the path that we're meant to be. Power is corruption these days. So if you were to give all of your power emotionally, spiritually, physically off to an individual that you don't know and can't see, same way that we kind of do with our governments, then we are suddenly off of the path of what God would want for us. And just a quick reminder as I go through this, if I say God, I don't specifically mean a specific God. I don't specifically mean a man that they've depicted, or Jesus, or Allah, or Jah, or whatever you may believe in. I don't specifically mean those things because I'm not specific within my beliefs. I think that there's truth to be taken from all of them, and I think that that's something that we all fail to realize, is that there is possibly a middle ground in all of it, But like I said, I think our lack of understanding takes us away from it, and somehow, ironically, I think we're not meant to understand, depict, or judge all of it, and judge the foundations of what we live in, and judge the foundations of what created us. I think that that kind of puts a gap in between us and true understanding. Truly attempting to understand is taking us away from truly understanding. I also find that that's symbolic for modern day society. I think modern day society is a consumption state, that we consume, and we never know when enough is enough. So with this knowledge, with this understanding of our divine knowledge, we kind of have a cap of, this is all that we know. This is enough, and this has to be enough. And we fail to realize and to accept that in a day where we have so much information and so much at our fingertips that we could ask and probably receive it all. And ironically, on the topic of ask and receive, this is the exact spot where I told you to just ask. To just ask and just take part and just be kind and put that foot forward and apply yourself into asking, and you will receive. Ask and you shall receive is literally in the Bible. Again, I'm not saying that I subscribe to a specific book. However, it's out there. There are signs from all these many different books, all these many different generations, all these many different depictions of what God has said, that there is some kind of truth to it within all of these different things. Now again, you might not subscribe to that, and if you don't, you probably clicked off of this already, but if you do, you're probably here. So I want to tell you what I understand, and what I understand is that the divine is all around us. That the divine is these trees that are right next to me, this sand beneath my feet, and this rock that I'm sitting on. And I also understand that the farther that we get from this, the less satisfaction there is. The farther that we get from the sand, the less satisfaction. The farther that we get from the waves, the less satisfaction. The farther that we get from the trees, the less satisfaction. The more we dive into these artificial bullshits, then there is no satisfaction for you. You're constantly looking and asking and grasping for more. The more we lean into superficial, the more we consume, the more we aim to consume, the more we kind of just use and abuse. And the more we use and abuse, the less we look for true values. and unless we look for true values from the source, and the source is really one of the only things that will truly make us feel satisfied, is understanding that there's something here that has our back no matter what it is, and that something that has our back may be us. Maybe us. It may be our own divine knowledge that is going to carry us through and is going to help us, But the more we lack our connection, the more we lack our connection. The more we avoid our surroundings is the more we avoid our surroundings. The less that we are present is the less that we are present. The less connected we are is the less connected we are. It's that simple. It's not that simple. I understand you can't just snap your fingers and suddenly, wow, these waves are beautiful, but you can snap your fingers and wow, these waves are beautiful, and guess what? Something made it for you. Something made it in this exact form in front of you so that you could see it in this exact form in front of you. There's some meticulous detail to all of this, and maybe that's even deeper into a belief that I'm not sure that I'm in, that everything happens for a reason, and how deep does that truly go? But truthfully, I think that everything happens for a reason, and I think that goes very deep. I think that everything is here for you, and it's here to succeed with you, and you're here to take part in it and be present in it. But I think that the more that we consume the things that we've all been told that we should be consuming, I think the farther that we get from our connection, the more we're estranged from that divine love. And I think that is an understanding that we're all avoiding. I think that we all deep down know that the farther that we get from God, the less satisfaction there is in this life. But I think that we all realize that it takes so much effort to actually connect with God and connect with the angels that we have, or anything, so on and so forth, that we just choose to not put in the effort. I think we run and hide. And I kind of think that that's fair. To be quite honest, I think that people running from work is and always has been a fair thing. However, you've got to suck it up, and you've got to fight, and you've got to be better, and you've got to stop consuming, and you've got to start living. You've got to start participating in the things that you need to participate in. You've got to start being the way that you were intended to be, in the state of just being, And that is when we will reach our most divine. There's a fine line, though. You're not God. I'm not God. These words that I speak, although they may be a channel to kind of spread whatever God's message, this is still me. I'm not God. I'm not God. I'm not some all-divine source in which you deserve to listen to me and only me throughout all things. There's many things within the things that I'm saying that can be questioned. And there's many things within the things that the Bible says that can be questioned, or that the Quran says that can be questioned. You're not always right for following a book specifically, but I think that we are a lot farther from where we need to be. I think we might have been a lot closer when in our grandparents' generation that you had 1 million people that were Bible thumpers. Now, I'm not saying that I belong with that book, but you had at least people believing in something that was greater than themselves, so they found it suitable for them to sacrifice themselves and to apply themselves for other people and their surroundings, for instance, or whatever it may be. They just did something that was greater than themselves. They did something that provided for other people. They put in sacrifice instead of just trying to, find some form of euphoria in the littlest of things, because we have so much consumption that we can do that at any given moment. Suddenly we're in a state where, where we are constantly stagnant and only providing for ourselves. Now, this doesn't mean that I sleep with a Bible next to my bed. This doesn't mean that I sleep with the Quran next to my bed. This doesn't mean that I go to the church and worship. This doesn't mean, but I try. I try to talk to God directly. And in my opinion, that's the best thing that you can do, is speak to God directly and ask questions directly, and you will get answers directly. And I know that that's super far-fetched, especially if you're still watching this for some reason and you don't believe in this stuff. But the truth and the fact of the matter is, that scared the shit out of me. I keep doing that every episode. Anyways, the truth and the fact of the matter is that if you ask, you will receive. If you take part in the divine the same way that you are intended to take part in the divine, and you take part in uninterrupted fashion, and you sit still, and you ask a question, and you seek for an answer, you will get that answer. And that will feel like the most rewarding, most divine thing, and that will be the most satisfaction that you have probably ever felt. Way more satisfaction than scrolling on Instagram and finally finding the right reel. Because that is an endless dopamine hit. But a pure, organic something is way more important and way more valuable than anything that social media or anything that modern day media or anything that, all this fast food that you consume, that it's way more than any of that can supply, ever. Way more. To be connected truly, to ask and receive. To be connected truly, to feel that you are in the presence of whatever created you. That is divine. It's divine in its own right. But we've been distant from the divine, and there's been a gap from God. And you need to do your best to just connect with the waves, to connect with the trees, to connect with the rocks, to connect with the sand, to connect with the people, to connect with whatever you're currently doing. If you're writing, connect with that. Even if you are scrolling on Instagram or TikTok or whatever the fuck you're scrolling on, at least connect with that. At least take part in it. Don't just get through the 4 seconds of that video that's most important, which is the hook of the video, and then scroll and swipe on to the next thing. Just at least be in that moment. It's what we always reach, is to be present. And that's the most difficult thing within this life, but that is the key to this life. Being present will get you in connection with God. Getting you in connection with God will get you in connection with the things that you truly want and truly desire, and the things that will truly make you satisfied. And that, for the rest of it, I mean, hopefully that'll make you happy. I didn't really get all the things that I want, but I'm at least at that stage where I'm in connection. I'm at least in that stage where, he or she, whatever form God may come in, is showing me what I need to do. And what I need to do is put in work. And what I need to do is put certain things to the side so that I can put in work. Even if it's myself at times. So, I don't know. I hope I'm not just rambling. Probably am. I do this every time. I hope that all made sense. When I listen back, I'll probably be like, wow, this made the most sense in the whole world. No wonder, whatever God I believe in trusted me to be the person to do this. But right now, I don't even know if it's enough. And that's another thing that I will have to come to terms with is will I ever truly feel like enough? And maybe I will if I rely on God enough, And maybe I will if I truly sit with myself and sit with this nature and sit with this water and sit with this sand, every single sand grain. If I appreciate that for every single sand grain, maybe one day this world will be enough for me. But I have to start. And I hope you do too. I hope that you connect, whatever way that is. I suggest talk with God directly. I suggest meditate. I suggest, and I don't even truly do that often. But I suggest just being present in what you're doing. If you're a writer, when you write, just write. If you're a singer, when you sing, just sing. If you are anything, just do that. If you are a scroller on TikTok, and that's the bottom line of you and what you plan to do for the rest of your life, then just scroll and be present with scrolling. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. So, find a quality reel or TikTok and actually appreciate it, I guess, I don't know. Again, I hope that made sense. I hope that you guys listened. I love you guys, and I love the source that created me, and the closer that I can get to it, the more content I am with life, and I hope that you do the same. Peace out, guys.